Hi students, this video is to show the solutions to the moving parts activity in code blocks. So once you're logged into Tinkercad, we're going to go over to the code blocks area over here and click on create new code block, and then lastly, start the moving shapes activity here. Okay. Now, I only want you to watch this video after you've tried this yourself. So it says add a star and then move the block to the onto the bottom of the star, or snap the move block to the bottom of the star. Set the input to X input to 50. So we're gonna grab a star and then grab a move block. And again, if in yours, if the instructions are in the way, you can click on hide instructions to get it out of the way. And we're going to want to make the X value be 50 and then press play over here. And we got a success. All right. So we're going to move on here and continue to the second step. This one asks to add a sphere and make the Y field of the move block be 80. So we're going to move it up in the y-axis 80 steps. So we're going to add a sphere and then move it in the y direction 80. And when we press play, we'll get a success check down there. All right. And it says if you want to move it to a different, the opposite direction, you use negative numbers like negative 80, and it moves in the other direction. Okay, moving on. This one wants you to move in two directions. X value is 70, Y value is 60. So we're going to move in X value 70, Y value is 60, and it's going to move both in the X direction positive and the Y direction positive. Let's watch it, and it moves to the correct location. We get a check there. And we can add in an up and down or z-axis value if we want to. So if we wanted to, for instance, put like 50 there, you'll see that it'll go and then lift up as well. All right. Next step here is trying to get the cylinder into that hole right there. So I'm going to add a cylinder and then add a move block. And I need to experiment with different numbers that are going to get in there. I can say maybe, for instance, 20 and 80. So 20 over, 80 up. Let me see what's going on with that. And I got lucky with the 80. It looks like 20 in the X direction wasn't quite enough. I need to move it a little more to the right. So I'm going to try 30 here. And there I get it. Now, the extra here is to try to move the star down into here. So if we zoom out, we're going to see that that's going to require a negative X and a negative Y movement. So let's put a move block in for that. And I'm going to try maybe negative 50 and negative 50. Just guessing here. And that's not quite enough to the left. So I'm going to need a lot more to the left. So instead of negative 50, I'm going to try negative 70. And let's see if that gets us where we need to. Okay, so that looks like that's the right X value. I need to be less in the Y direction. So maybe make this negative 60. And there we get it. Okay, so moving on here to the next one. Similar, we're going to use a roof tool here to move. Now we're going to need to move in the negative X direction, but positive Y direction. So I'm thinking negative 30 and I don't know, 80 here. So looks like 80 was too much. So I'll try 70 here, try again. And so that's the correct Y amount. I need less X. So I want to maybe make that negative 40. And there, it looks like that one fit in, but we have a second shape we have to do, the heart. So we're going to pull the heart in as well. And that's going to need to be a positive X number and a negative Y number. So let's try to fit that there. We're going to get, whoops, too many moves. I can pull this down into the trash can. And that one, we're going to go maybe 70 across and negative 30. We can try that out. And looks like, ooh, 70, I got lucky there, but negative 30 is too much. I need more x here, so I'm going to make that negative 20, and there we have it, success. Okay, and then moving on from here, we're going to be asked to make a box and then make a roof and then lift the roof. So I'm going to look at this from the side here. So I want to put a box in and then put a roof in and then move the roof up. I'm going to guess 20 to start with in the up or z-axis direction. And it looks like that lifted it up too much. So I'm going to make that 10. Let me try that. And that didn't work. So split the difference. I want to lift it 15. And there we have it. Success. Fantastic. Moving on, our next one here, this one is really tricky. There's multiple issues with this one. So first you have to do it in the same order as this instruction. So it's creating the sphere first. So it's sphere and then lifting it. So we want to go in and create a sphere. We want to make it green. It needs to be the right color. And then we want to lift it up. We can try lifting it up. For instance, we could lift that one up 10 and see how that works. Okay, that was not enough. Let's try 20. And if I zoom in here, it looks like that's about the right size and the same height and the same color. So I think the sphere is okay. Now the cone, we need to add a cone and make it brown. That looks too dark brown. So let's see here. Ooh, that cone is way too wide. So I have to change the bottom radius. I'm going to try 5 and see if that looks right. Still way wider than the example. Let me try 3. Now it's looking similar there, but it looks like I need to lift that one up. So I'm going to try to lift that one up 20 and see if that works. Oop, that's way too much. Let me make that in half, 10. And there we go. And we are successful. So I'm going to leave this up here. You could see that we're going to add a green sphere, lift it up 20, and then add a brown cone with bottom radius 3, and then lift that up 10. Okay, so here's your solutions. Hope that helped.